In the world of media, which I've been in my entire adult life, actually, I started even younger. I was already on the radio when I was in my early and mid teens. Um, then got into television, and I've had a good career. It's been fun. My name is Charlie Simons. I'm the host now of this podcast called Do Not Talk. We do talk about politics and religion, two things you're never supposed to talk about. But I also talk to people that everybody tells me on my own side I'm not supposed to talk to. They don't really have a shot. They don't really have it. They're grassroots candidates. Yeah. Why don't you just get in lockstep with the party, Charlie? I'm kind of notorious in not doing that. But in the world of media, and Rudy Recile is my guest, by the way, on this show. You're gonna like him. You never met him before. You haven't seen him on before. I don't know how, because I've had him on many times. But I always enjoy it. We always have great conversations. But he and I are going to be talking about how do you get recognized? How do you get out there? How do you stand out? And you kind of have to in media. You better be different. You can't replicate or pretend you're somebody else for very long without, well, why would I watch Charlie Simons when I can watch Joe Rogan, who gets bigger name guests? And he's funny and he cusses a lot, so that makes him cool. That Charlie guy doesn't, so he's not cool. Yeah, right, not. But I do have heart. I'm just a good old boy from Bakersfield, trying to get you to come along for the ride and maybe see a different side. And I have a dog. See, now a lot of people have dogs, but do they have Spike? No, they don't have Spike. So that sets me apart. Hi, Spike. How are you, my friend? He's got a little hurt paw. I don't even know what they did. They knocked him out last week, a 500 plus vet bill, 500 plus dollars for them to knock him out and explore in there and see if anything was stuck in between his toes or something. Um, didn't find anything. Did an X-ray, and they went, "Well, he's got all we could see is he's got an inflamed or swollen joint in his middle toe right there." And it got real big. I mean, it got like 3 times the size it is right now, but he's on these serious antibiotics, and I keep having to spray stuff on there and trying to keep him from licking it and gnawing on it and making it worse, and I'm happy to report that it's going down. It's getting better. It hasn't looked this good in about 2 weeks. So this has been an ongoing battle with my little guy. How old is he? That's always the first question other dog people ask. "Oh, how old is he?" I don't know. He was an adult when I adopted him from the SPCA of Solano County, but that was in 2016. So I've had him all that time. So I'm thinking he's probably about 11, 12. This muzzle right here with the gray didn't used to have that gray. And I didn't used to have all that gray either. This is my little friend, though. My little blessing. I thank the Lord for him all the time. I hope you do too. I hope you have some kind of animal or pet in your life. Animal or pet, I said. That sounded kind of weird. I hope you have a pet in your life that's an animal. How about that? I recommend dogs. I happen to be an awfully big fan of dogs. I think it's one of the Lord's greatest blessings to us. I can't imagine life without them, personally. I've always had them. Usually more than one. Now I only have one. Lost a couple of good ones last year. That's the hard part. I know. I know. It's the hard part of losing a pet. It wrecks me. It wrecks me. I just tell my friends and family, you won't hear from me for about a month. I go into a mourning. But a friend of mine shared this with me that changed my attitude about it. You gave that dog the best life it could have had. Without you, you have no idea what it would have been. He could have been locked in a cage the rest of his days, having to sleep on concrete, or even worse, outside, or even worse, used as bait. I'm talking about dog fights and anything else. It's horrible what's happening. We're in a very wicked and fallen world. So I pray for you the peace beyond all understanding, which God, the creator of the universe, promises us if we're aligned with him. And we align with him through his son, Christ Jesus. Oh, only Christians go to heaven? You know what? If you don't like that, take it up with the Lord. I didn't write it. I just chose to believe it. No one comes to the Father except through me, Jesus said. No one. You can't be a good person. You can't good person your way into heaven. You better be exploring who Christ Jesus is through his holy word. Wow, I just turned this into a church service. So I pray that you do. Please pick up the Bible. Start reading in the book of John. The book of John's best place. 4 Gospels, that's the last one. It encapsulates Jesus's time here on earth, his ministry, and then keep going. A chapter a day keeps false teachers away. A chapter a day keeps false teachers away. Don't shy away. Shine your light now more than ever. Jesus tells us to do that too. And get involved. Get involved with who's calling the shots for us. Righteous person in office running the government, and the people rejoice. A bad person, and the people groan. I'm paraphrasing. Obviously, I've misquoted that scripture and screwed it all up. But the idea is basically the same. So be involved. We actually, here in the United States of America, have the opportunity to get one vote. Are you going to squander that? You're going to throw it away? You're going to ignore it? You're not even going to follow through? Well, my vote doesn't count. That's weak sauce. Please stop saying that. When you don't vote, your vote does count against you. Right? We have a whole lot of demons running the state of California right now. Oh, Charlie, that's kind of harsh. You just called them demons? Demonic. How about that? Is that better? Demonic. They are doing their father's work just as quickly as possible, for his time is short, and their father is the father of lies. We need to start paying attention to the men and women who are running for office, because nothing changes until good people run for office. And U.S. Army Major Rudy Recile, U.S. Army Major retired. I have to say that legally. Rudy Recile is running for Congress in Northern California, not just Northern California, but in the Bay Area, close to San Francisco. Believe me, he's up against the odds, but he's been up against odds, bad odds, overwhelming odds. He's been there before. As a major in the U.S. Army, trust me, he's got some war stories. If you haven't met him yet, I'm looking forward to you meeting him. I want you to pay some attention to what he has to say. And if you would do me this huge favor, share. Like first, hit that like button. So it changes the algorithms and it helps us get the show out even more. But also share these shows. Facebook shut down all my pages and Instagram. I violated some kind of community standard that they didn't bother telling me what it was. And now 40,000 people suddenly, I'm out of their life. Boom, I'm gone. So if you could share these shows, you'd be helping as well. But most importantly, please vote, and vote along biblical values. Rudy Recile, U.S. Army Major, retired, on Do Not Talk. Ready? Hit it. What's up, Major? Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm
here.
borderline
I'm
amazing.
alive.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Anytime you're 6 feet above, or you're above ground, not 6 feet under, is a good thing.
Yep.
I have followed your progress of what you've been doing. You haven't not held any public office yet. You were running against a very, very strong person who's been ensconced with Democrat leftist policies his entire career. And that's who you're running against. John Garamendi, I'm talking about, who is lockstep. He's basically the female or the male version of Nancy Pelosi, where if he's on the ballot in the Bay Area, they're going to vote for him, period.
Yeah.
Even if he's MIA, which he has been. What's going on with all that?
Well, from what I understand, he's got a bloodborne cancer, so he's been battling that, and I wish no ill will on him. No one should have to go
How
through
old
that,
is he now? 80 something.
He's 80 years old. He'll be 81 next year. Yeah,
okay.
He'll be 81
Time to retire, partner. But no, he's not.
Yeah. So, but he's battling that, and he's still in Congress. He's doing his bit in Congress, and being a good vote for the Democrats. That's exactly what he's doing. Him and
By
Mike
proxy,
Thompson.
he's not there in person, is he?
Well, no, I've seen him on some videos here and there. That's not to say that he's not doing his job. He's doing the job that
That the DNC tells him to do.
yeah, exactly.
Period.
And we put him there. And we put him there,
We did. You're
So,
right. I
you
didn't
know,
personally, but we, the
but
people,
well,
the collective voters of California, put him there more again and again and again. I'll
mhm.
never forget when he got elected to be insurance commissioner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, just to keep him viable and keep a paycheck going his way so he can be another reliable vote for the Democrats, even though there was
Exactly.
no seat available for him at the time in an area or a district that he could have won. Well, Prop 50 is about to redistrict everything. I
Yes.
hope it fails. I hope you will get smart and vote no on 50. But if you're watching this show, probably chances are you will. I hope you don't set that ballot aside and just go, yeah, it doesn't matter. My vote doesn't count. Please don't do that. We need you now more than ever. And numbers too big to ignore. Truthfully, we desperately need you right now to vote no on 50. We're just a little over 2 weeks away.
Yeah. Well, get your vote in. Now, you and I differ on this, but take your ballot, fill it out, drop it off at your local registrar of voters office or your elections office, whichever way you want to call it. You can track your ballot on ballottracks.com, BALLOTRAX, ballottracks.com. And it'll tell you that they've received it, they've counted it. And at least that way, your vote was the one that was counted and not somebody else who voted for you. Okay. So,
Even if you say, hey, that's not me, that's somebody else, what can you do about it?
well, the thing is that if you get your vote in first and BallotTrax confirms it, then they can't reuse your vote. You see what I'm saying? So, in other words,
That's
you got to
another
jump
thing,
on them.
by the way.
You got to jump on them.
I hope you just picked up on what Rudy Recile just said. I hope you caught that. If you don't vote, they're using your vote.
Exactly.
And
They're going to
it's
be
extremely dishonest. It's illegal, but it's happening. That's the election fraud in California. That's why
yes.
you've got to vote. You've got to turn out for this. You got to.
Yes. Yeah,
Please.
you got to turn out and vote. Your vote does count. Don't believe that your vote doesn't count. It actually does count. So get out there and vote. Tell your friends to vote. Take 10 friends and, or collect 10 ballots. I don't care which way you do it. Just make sure that you do it legally. There's a way to do it on the back of your ballot. On the envelope, it'll say, I authorize Rudy Recile to turn in my ballot. And or at least that's the way it is here in Solano County. Every county is a little bit different with the way they create their ballots. But whatever you do, get your vote, get your neighbor's vote, get your family's vote, get them in there. Just vote whatever you do because your vote does count. Don't believe that your vote
And
doesn't
vote the
count.
whole ballot, not just for
Yes.
one or two things and leave the rest blank.
Yeah.
That'll
Well,
be used against you too.
yeah, on this Prop 50, there's only one thing on there, but
Right.
make sure you read it. Make sure you read it because on that ballot, it actually states that it's not just for the midterms. It's not just for next year. It's all the way to 2031. That's
Yep.
3 elections. 3 elections they will use the maps that the politicians have drawn. Okay. It wasn't Gavin Newsom who went through there and drew. He doesn't have time to do that. It's the politicians who drew those maps thinking that it's going to make a difference. So who knows how that's going to turn out because they're the ones that drew those lines. So get out there and vote. Whatever you do, your vote does count. And it doesn't make a difference which election it is, whether it's in June next year for the primaries or for the general election next year, your vote does count. It makes a difference.
And we need you, desperately need you too for those primary elections because that's who decides who goes to the big election. And in your district, running for the congressional seat, something just happened recently, which is actually Yahoo! Great news for you.
Yeah.
You got 4 Democrats who have decided they want to run for that seat, and one little old Republican.
Yep.
Hopefully, your fellow Bay Areans have gotten smart enough to realize, and they've felt enough pain to realize, we need to go with somebody else. We can't keep going the way of the D, because the
Yeah.
way of the D is damning us to a
Yes.
very bad future here in the state of California. So I hope so. But another good thing about this is, because of the jungle primary, they're all going to split up the Democrat vote. You're going to
Yeah.
be the only Republican there, unless your central committees, dirty central committees, Republican dirty central committees, have been throwing in rhinos into this kind of situation, where something nice and shiny, so it splits up the Republican vote. It's very nefarious. It's very dirty. It happened to Mindy Petchenick over there in Oakland. Is that Contra
Mhm.
Costa County?
No,
No,
it's Alameda County.
Alameda. Thank you, Alameda County. Uh, Her central committee has done that to her twice now, and she's running for Oakland mayor now
Mhm.
at this point. A white Christian woman running for mayor of Oakland is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. But
Yeah.
with you, the 4 Democrats announcing in your district that they want to take John Garamindi's place is very encouraging to me, because of the
Yeah.
way things were set up by the left. But this might
Yeah.
actually turn around to hurt them.
Yeah.
Uh,
And candidates also have to realize that, our vote is razor thin. Our voting line is razor thin. And uh if there's somebody else, if you're a conservative and you want to run, talk with the other candidates first and find out where they're at so far as their campaigning is concerned. How many times did they campaign? Are they still going to campaign? How many times will they campaign? Because sometimes getting your personal name out there, maybe you can help the current candidate, and at the same time put your name out there at the same time. So by helping them, you're helping yourself. Plus, you're gaining experience of being on the ground. You're participating in your local politics club, whatever the club is, whether it's the Women's Federated or the California Republican Assembly or just your local GOP Central Committee. You're getting your name out there with those folks just by helping out the current candidate. And people will see that. And then when they choose to not run, then you can step up to the plate. So,
and you can volunteer. You can do
mhm,
incredible things just by walking districts, as they say. I've done that
mhm.
with Rudy. I've helped him put up
Yeah.
signs, because I believe in him, what he does, what he stands for, what he says.
Do you
He
remember
is
that
who he
time
says
in
he is.
Bay Point? Remember when we were out there at Bay Point and we were walking all those hills
Yeah.
trying to put those door hangers out there?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh yeah.
God, that was so hot. It was so hot
It
that
definitely was.
day.
That's right. That's right. They're getting ready for the primary. It was in the summer, but
Yeah.
I we have so many good people who have left the state of California. Those of us that are left seem to be nothing but apathetic. They're not getting involved, and they're leaving
We
it
need
to the
to
rest of us.
encourage them. That's the thing is
Yeah.
that we need to encourage them. We can't discourage them. We keep on saying that you don't get out, people need to get out there and vote. And that's the message that we need to be putting out. Get out and vote. Your vote does count. You are worthy. God put you on this planet for a reason. And part of that reason that you're living here in California is to get your vote out. Get your vote out there and make his plan work. Because
And
If you're a Christian, you are part of God's authority here on earth.
exactly.
And it's up to you to make sure that his message gets out there through people like me, through various conduits on the conservative side, because surely the Democrats are not doing that. They're not doing God's work. They want to kill children. They want to kill babies in the womb. They want to turn our little boys into little girls. They're demasculating our boys, because our boys need to become men. They don't need to become girls, you know. And we need to be teaching our boys to become men and to
Come on.
stand up and stand the fight, for God and for a good Christian way of life, or a good whatever your religion's uh mantra may be. But you need to stand up and lead your family. And if we're not doing that, if we're not teaching our boys to become men, what are we doing?
Very
And
good
getting out there
question.
and vote is the most important thing. You know,
Amen. Let's talk about, since you're running for the Senate seat, you would be
Senate. No, I'm running
representing.
for Congress.
I'm
I'm running
my
for
apologies.
Congress.
My apologies. I didn't mean
Yeah.
to misspoke. You're going to be, though, representing in DC. You're going to be fighting for California, especially your district,
Mhm.
to make things better for all of us. Um, and you're going to be involved in something that's happening right now that everybody's talking about. That's the government shutdown. It was
Oh yeah.
orchestrated by the Democrats. This is Chuck Schumer's shutdown, so he can hopefully protect his seat when AOC decides she's going to run for it.
Yeah.
And so he thought this was going to be all it took, and that this is going to make Trump look bad. It was going to make the Republicans look bad because the media will all get behind us and give us that message. We don't even have to say it ourselves. The media will do the work for us. Well, the media is doing the work for you still, but they're so greatly diminished, and we're not watching the mainstream media anymore. We're not listening
Yeah.
to them. We're not even reading them anymore. We've turned our backs on them. Thank God. Rightly
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
So they don't have that effective platform anymore more like they used to. And lo and behold, people are actually realizing the Republicans, and they're doing it again. They're about to bring it up for a vote one more time. Look, we got a bill to continue funding the government, but it doesn't have any strings attached.
Mhm. Yeah,
So we're going
they
to vote for
passed
this, and it will pass if the Democrats will vote along with us, but they're not. So the
exactly.
government remains shut down. What do you think about all that? What would be your approach?
Well, I mean, we haven't passed a balanced budget since what, the 90s, the
Bill
mid
Clinton.
90s. Yeah, that was the last time that we passed a balanced budget. Since then, we've been working on what they call continuing resolutions, which basically means take the previous budget and just fund the previous budget the way it is and bring that forward. So, and I don't think that the politicians realize that to the average Joe, you, me, and anybody else, we don't feel it. We don't feel the government being shut down. And the so essential workers, which a soldier is an essential worker, is going to get paid. Nurses and doctors, providers in the military, or even in the VA, they're going to get paid. So this antic of what they're doing is only hurting those who work for the government but aren't getting paid because they're not considered essential.
The
Your
contractors, those
janitors.
who are working for the government, building things, repairing things under contract with the
Yeah,
federal
and well,
government.
oh, not only that, but you could be a personal assistant and not be deemed as necessary. You could be a custodial worker and not considered necessary, because you can make your workers go ahead and throw their own trash, you know, so or clean up their own areas. You
What?
know.
I have to take care of my own desk space? What? This is
uh,
awful.
Yeah, exactly. And when I worked for the government, when I worked for the USDA, and we shut down, they were saying, "Well, Rudy, sorry, you're not an essential person." But then when we came back to work, guess what? We still got our paycheck. So
That's what I've been saying. All these people who are not getting paid right now, and the sob stories and the whining and crying and wailing and gnashing of teeth is all ridiculous. They're getting a paid vacation because they
yeah,
will get paid all the time that they were not working. They will
yes,
still get paid as if they were. So
yes,
it's just pathetic. It's so full of lies. The whole thing's so ridiculous. And the reason why the Democrats wanted to shut down the government was they were hoping to force the Republicans to say, yeah, we need to keep including giving health insurance to illegals. That
yes,
is
yeah.
really what this boils down to.
Yeah, yeah, and what was it? Los Angeles just declared a state of emergency, so that they can continue providing health cares to illegals. We have had discussions with my wife is a nurse, and we had a discussion about this just the other night. And I'm like, you know what? There's so many NGOs out there, non-governmental associations, nonprofits out there. You know what? Send a bill to them, let them pay. And if you want to donate your money to an NGO that supports illegals to have health care, then donate your money. Don't take my money and give it to them. You can
Yeah,
donate
no, the left's
yourself.
always big on that.
You know,
You need to pay for everybody else. Um, uh, and usually on the right is it's far outweighs the left when it comes to charitable giving to actual organizations not affiliated with the government.
exactly.
We're great at that. You know what we suck at is actually supporting our political candidates
Yes, yes. Well,
because we don't worship the government like the left does.
hmm
Their tithe goes to Nancy Pelosi. Their tithe goes to that horrific Senator Scott Wiener. Their tithes because they worship the government. I'm quite convinced of that.
hmm
But on the right, we got families. We're tithing to our churches, our religious organizations, and as well we should. I'm glad. And we give and we support charitable causes, not only with our money, but with our time and our
yeah.
presence. We step up for that on the right, overwhelmingly more than the left does. Left talks about it a lot.
hmm
And they want to insist that your tax dollars go to support their cause. That's not
Yeah.
how we do things on the right. But unfortunately, we do not support our political candidates very well. We just don't.
Yeah, and that's because as conservatives, we always, we're always pull yourself up by your bootstraps, make it happen, work hard, put your nose to the grindstone, which we are. But the thing is that we don't have an organization behind us that's paying the bills, that's flipping the bills, that paying for signs like the sign behind me. I mean, paying for a sign like that is not cheap. And even for yourself, when people donate to your cause, to keep your ministry going, it helps. And we have to find ways in order to do that. And we've got to be able to support capitalism because that's part of it. I mean, supporting people that are working hard. You have a product, you're putting the product out there. The thing is that our products are intangible. Our products are ourselves. They are who we are in what they see and what happens. And people have just got to take the time to do it. I mean, in my district, the 8th district, you can go and do Rudy for FORUSCongress.com, Rudy for FORUSCongress.com, and you can go there and you can donate $8 a month. That's $2 a week. That's less than the cost of a cup of coffee per week. Okay, $8 a month, and you could, help put me get my name out there even more. You'll help me buy more signs. You'll help get people to participate with me. Help put me out on Facebook and YouTube. Because if you don't share, our names are never going to get out there. Because I could pay for 10,000 views. Okay, I could pay a company for 10,000 views, somebody that's going to see me, but in my district there's 400,000 voters. So what's 10,000 views that's going to cost me, tens of thousands of dollars to get my 10,000 views out there when no one's going to like or share? And that doesn't
Absolutely
cost you
right.
anything.
You're so right. And like I talked about in the very beginning, you got to have a niche. Mine is Spike, but you gotta have a name. You got to get out there. You're half Filipino. You've got the Filipino community behind you. But other than that, nobody does know who you are.
Yeah.
And that's by design, actually, and that's why I like you and encourage you and everybody like you to please don't quit, because I don't want big name politicians running the show anymore. We've
Yeah.
seen what they do. We've seen what they bring to the table. They need to go. I
Yes.
want business people like you. I want the average person who's done some great things in their life. You being a U.S. Army major, you've done great things. You've commanded units and
Yeah.
troops.
Yeah.
You worked at the Pentagon. Anybody goes, well, what does he know? He can't do anything in politics. Are you kidding? He knows a whole lot more than anybody else who currently holds office in the state of California. I can pretty much guarantee that.
Yeah, when I get up there, I'm not going to be afraid to walk those halls because I've already been in those halls. I've been in the swamp. I know where the swamp is. I know where the swamp creatures live, and I can detect the swamp creatures when they're coming out. So that makes it a big challenge. I mean, you have to have people that are running. For example, Chris Bish. She might not have ever been up in the Pentagon, but she surely has. Adam Schiff, isn't it Adam Schiff? She's got
Adam Schiff running scared. Yes.
yeah, she's got him running scared, and that's Chris Bish, and she's running up in the
He
6th
deserves
district.
it.
Yeah, she's running up in the 6th district. So, I mean,
Mhm.
find out who your candidates are. Take the time to find out who they are
And
and
then share
support
the
them.
shows when you see them like this, with
Yeah,
an encouraging note wherever you share it. Go, "Hey, check out this person. This is somebody we should get behind. What do you think?"
yeah,
Um, we've got to. We've got to.
yeah.
Otherwise, the Democrats are gonna continue dominating and controlling the
Mhm.
state, and I'm
Yeah,
sick of that. I'm done with that, and
yeah,
I'm not ready to move away. I'm
yeah,
too stubborn. I'm a
yeah,
native Californian, and I'm gonna stay. I'm not gonna
yeah.
let them just walk right in and start kicking us all around and kicking us out, which
No,
is what's
no.
happening with all our fellow conservatives who have left. They've left the state.
Yeah, well, we might, when the next census comes out, or who knows what's going to happen. I mean, we may lose another seat, in Congress. We already lost
I've
one.
heard as many as 4.
Yeah, we could lose that many, depending
Yeah.
on, how many total number of people
If
that.
you don't count the illegals, and
Exactly.
that's what was so dirty in the last census.
Yeah, yeah.
The illegals were
Well,
counted.
no, yeah, but they may have counted, but we still lost a seat. You got to keep that into account. They may have counted the illegals, but even in counting the illegals, we lost a seat. Okay, so when they go back and recount, and with all the work that ICE is doing right now, we could potentially lose another seat,
Yeah.
in Congress. But the question is that's why it's so important to get out there and vote on this Prop 50. It's so important to get out there and vote on this Prop 50
Please.
because,
Yeah.
we want the independent commission that we, the voters, voted on to put in place so that a bipartisan independent commission can draw the lines. You can't even go to We Draw the Lines and rely on their lines because they didn't draw the lines for a Prop 50. They didn't draw it. It was the legislators that drew those lines. So, I mean, so you want John Garamendi to go ahead and draw his own lines. You want Ami Bera to go ahead and draw their own lines, to make it more advantageous for them. It doesn't make any sense for that to happen when we should have that independent commission drawing the lines for us. So your vote does count. Get your vote out there, pick up your ballot, and if you want someone to help you out with it, shoot, go onto my website at rudy4uscongress.com and say, hey, come pick up my ballot for me. I'll be more than happy to come out and pick up your ballot for you.
That's cool.
And if you're
That's
willing
cool.
to, go out there, get your friends, to help you out, or pick up your friend's ballot, pick up your neighbor's ballot, get them and turn them in, because ballot harvesting is legal here in California. So why should they be the only ones that are playing that game?
Right. Exactly right.
We can play the game. The rules are out there. Hey, them's the rules, right?
Them's
So
the rules.
get out there and pick up ballots, and make sure that happens. So
Thank you,
because
man.
surely and in all of these varying Republican clubs that are out there, they're doing their best to do that. But
Yeah.
unless if you're participating out there, however you're participating, we can't win this unless if you get out there and vote. So make sure you vote no on Prop 50, because we want the independent commission to draw those lines. And it has nothing to do with Texas. When you look on your ballot,
No,
it says because
that
this
was
is
court ordered, by the way. The
yeah.
redistricting was court ordered based on their most recent census, and they had drawn up. They were literally assigning districts based on what skin color you were,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the Supreme Court stepped in and went, "What are you, high?
Right?
No,
Yeah,
you're not going to continue doing that. Redo it." And
exactly.
they did. And
Right.
that's so whenever you hear Governor Hairdo screaming about what Texas has done and Trump is trying to take over and all this kind of stuff, just you're
Yeah,
going to listen to them no matter what, because you're not watching this show. But on
yeah,
our side of things, please encourage people to vote no on 50 and do it yourself.
yeah. And
And go ahead.
realize we're California. We're not Texas. That's as simple as it gets. We're California. We're not Texas. What we do here stays here. Okay. The person that we elect and to represent us represents California, not Texas. So that's as simple as it gets. It doesn't get any
Yep.
more simple than that.
Well, thank you very much for your time. U.S. Army Major retired Rudy Recile, Recile is pronounced Recile. I've heard
Yeah.
people pronounce your name 100 different ways.
You can see it
Recile.
right
Who's
behind
Recile?
you can see it right there, right behind me. That's how
There
you
it
spell
is right
that's how you
there. That's
spell
a
it.
good sign. That's a good logo. I like it. And go to his website and get to know more about him and help him if you can. Walk some precincts with him, help him put up some signs, get involved, get involved. We actually have an opportunity now with 4 Democrats announcing they're running for Garamendi's seat.
Yep.
Rudy's the only Republican. So
Mhm.
we've got a shot at this. This would be an amazing thing. Rudy for uscongress.com. That's the word for Rudy, FOR, Rudy for uscongress.com. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Thanks. It's good being with you.
And hooah.
Ugh.
Hey, it's a great time to be alive, isn't it? And it's not an accident that you're alive right now at this time in our history, because we got to step up and step out. Don't ignore. Don't hope it gets better. And I hope you never say this again, because I hear so many people say this. I just want things to get back to normal. Because you sat back and hoping everything would get back to normal and done nothing to make sure we did. You've guaranteed that it's never going to get back to normal. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. Say goodbye, Spike. Most importantly, America, bless God.